Morning, everyone. Clint McLaughlin here, Midwest Market Management. I've got Riley Sykard on with me here today. We are going to jump into our first week of U.S. weather from a national yield perspective. Riley, here we go again. It's rolling around on April 1. And, I had a lot of compliments last year on this product that we roll out to try to help farmers keep their head in the game from a marketing perspective, looking at weather marketing perspective, not from out their back door. We took a lot of flack last year. If you remember, the southern and eastern belt was just inundated with rain and things were tough and challenging. And we were throwing out the concern of big, large yields, and we caught a lot of backlash from that on the YouTube channel. But at the end of the day, it ultimately shook out to be a very large yield. Not that it didn't have those impacts on individuals. So as we roll through the growing season, if what we're telling you doesn't align with what's happening on your farm, we apologize. But we are trying to keep this from a national yield perspective. Right now, one of the biggest things I hear is we're heading back into the 2026 drought, and the drought monitor map is lit up, and I'm already hearing it. And I do believe that that could be a long-term bullish scenario, but there is no way to get to that being a bullish situation without getting through the time period where that is bearish. And the reason that it is bearish is because most of the country needs a nice 1 to 3 inch rain to get the ground fit, and then everything is dry, primed, and ready to roll into planting season. So we will see how the planting season shakes out. But right now, Riley, let's look at some maps and see what we got to work with.
Sounds good. A lot of these guys, it is good for farmers to be optimistic going into the growing season. So I do understand that drought monitor map gives you optimism in terms of what the market can do. So I do see their side that they want to have something to be excited about. And, maybe that $6 corn and $13, $14 beans is coming back.
Yeah. Well, if it's going to follow crude oil, it's becoming potentially more likely than we thought.
Yep. So with that said, first thing I got here, 1 to 5 day temperatures. At this time of the year, temperatures doesn't mean quite as much, but you do need to look, especially Texas, Oklahoma, and the Delta. A lot of planting already happening down in the South, and 80-degree temperatures is not hurting them any. As you look here towards central Midwest, not cold enough that people are getting froze out until you get into the Dakotas and northern half of Minnesota. So a lot of stuff thawing out, getting ready to go. You mentioned it earlier in our South America report, Clint, a lot of tillage work being done and spring anhydrous or spring manure being applied. So a lot of guys getting prepped. 6 to 10 day temperatures actually cooling off a bit, especially in the South. But if you're looking in that central region where a lot of crops getting stuck in the ground for corn and beans, not a lot of big changes there. Averages in the 50s and 60s. So here's the thing that's getting some people bullish. Next one will come out on Thursday. So Thursday's weather report will have an updated one, but the drought monitor map. Pretty simple, Clint. Nebraska is really dry. Southern half of South Dakota is really dry, and Illinois is as well. And in the South, the Delta is just crying for some rain. They need some help down there as well. But
yeah, I'm not saying that that's not alarming. And if that continues to shade in rather than diminish, then we got something to talk about. In the meantime, looks favorable, but that is definitely a concern.
And you've mentioned it before, Clint. In the short term, being dry means the crop can get thrown in the ground faster because we can handle some rain. Yeah. In the long term, we want to get rain, but it's kind of a short-term positive for a long-term negative situation.
And we lose, traditionally, you're going to lose so many more bushels to too wet than you do to too dry.
Well, 2025 is trying to disagree with that, but moving ahead here, last 2 weeks of rainfall. Eastern Belt, Indiana, Ohio's gotten some rain. Everybody else has pretty much missed out. So there is a lot of rain in the forecast this week. So as we move forward into the 1 to 5, that is a trend that's looking to change. So drought monitor map, we're going to have to watch closely, and a lot of guys getting rain that they want and need to help get that seed bed ready to go. So if you're looking at bottom right, you can see this map's getting you through the 4th of April. By the time you get to the 10th to 15th, there's gonna be a lot of people wanting to start rolling. So gonna have to watch that really close. And if this can quickly dry out and allow people to start doing tillage and get in the field, then we're gonna move along pretty quick this spring. So 6 to 10, proving my point here. They're getting some rains that they want, and then we're supposed to dry right back out. So the chance is there to get in the field pretty quickly. This is getting you through the 9th of April, and that's right at the beginning of the window. So,
And not only to, dry back out, but based on what I've seen here driving, from Wisconsin down here today, like, you put an inch and a half, 2 inches of rain on that and give it 5 to 7 days to dry out, you're gonna have some pretty optimal conditions.
absolutely. So one last map I have to look at today. This is your 2-week precipitation. So this is really good to look at come summer months when people are saying it's way too dry. At this time of year, we're showing the same thing, those areas of drought monitor map with a lot of concern. The chance is there to get in some spots 2 to 3 inches of rain. So is it a disaster as we're going into spring? Definitely not. But we are acknowledging, especially in that Delta region, Nebraska, there are areas that really need some rain. So just got to watch it close. And it seems like we were just wrapping up US weather and now we're back in it. So
This is about as ideal as you could set this map to. 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches, we're pretty well equipped to handle that kind of moisture and be getting things right in order with where we need to be.
yep. So with all that said here today, Clint, starting off, I think, on a pretty good note. That's all I have.
All right, well, we got what, 23 minutes till either liftoff or departure, one or the other. Something's going to happen in 23 minutes. So we will find out what the report has to say here today. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And we'd love to hear from you sometime. Give us a call. You can look us up at midwestmarketmanagement.com. Would love to hear about what's going on in your area. And maybe if you got any insight on things we should be watching out for. So love to hear from you. Give us a call. Midwest Market Management, Riley Sidecard, Clint McLaughlin. Thanks for tuning in.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.